Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for mid-September 2024. You start off with this slow victory card and this true future card. So there's clearly, I feel like there's a change coming in your future. I'm going to show you this in a minute, but there's like this ripple in this card. It's like water with a ripple in the middle. It says scrying on it, but I kind of feel like some of you, it's like, what you've been seeing as your future is very close, but I do feel that there are some changes. Like I felt it right away when I pulled those two cards that, it's like you're very close to your future vision for your life, but there are some changes that are going to happen. So, as always, I think the more flexible Taurus can be at this time, the better, which I say to you every single reading. But again, I really feel it's kind of like your secret sauce is going to be to really be flexible and look for other ways of doing things, and that's exactly what I would do here. Again, you have this like ripple here. It's funny that you have these cards, actually that didn't work at all. Let's try that again, Taurus. The two ripples kind of look very similar. It's like behind Horus here, there's like a similar circle pattern to this scrying card, and so, but I feel for whatever reason that was saying change to me, or that something is changing. It almost looks like there's a drop of water dropping in the middle of that scrying card. There's kind of like this little bubbling up of water, and it's saying that to me, for you, Taurus, that you could be changing something that you're doing. You even start with the Magician, and the Magician, of course, is a good card, can represent manifesting things and manifesting things very quickly, but the Magician is a card of reinvention. And then not only that, you go down to the Seven of Swords and the Two of Wands. The Seven of Swords is about doing things differently, and the Two of Wands is about leaving a comfort zone. So I feel for a lot of you that this Magician is saying that you are changing. Even you end with this snake card I'll show you at the end, and you have the snake on the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm noticing just a lot of symbols of change or reinvention happening in your reading. So I think that, the Ace of Swords is a card of laser focus, and what I'm getting at here is I feel a lot of you have a focus. It's like you clearly see a goal or something that you want to accomplish. Quite simply, I feel the first row is just saying like how you're going to accomplish it, or the outcome is going to just be a little bit different than you think. I don't think this is a bad thing, of course. This is going to be a good thing, but I do feel you're going to have to be flexible to make it happen, is what it's saying. It's like if you stay stuck on like how you're going to accomplish something, I think you're going to have a hard time. If you stay flexible and you realize that everything is kind of leading you in the right direction, then you're going to have success much faster. Even though that card says slow victory on it, I actually feel like you could have a faster victory as long as you stay flexible. The Ace of Swords can also be like a truth being revealed. I believe we're in a time of truth, so I feel there are a lot of truths that could be coming out. With the Magician, this could be your inner truth, and I feel like you could be discovering something in your life that is much better energetically. We have the Knight of Wands, and I'm kind of getting a weird message on this Knight of Wands. It's really saying to me that things are going to be more fun. Like, I'm not saying you're going to be like waking up celebrating every day. I just feel that like your daily work is going to maybe be more entertaining for you or more fun for you, or you're setting yourself up in a way where you're allowing yourself to be more flexible. I feel this is going to allow like more freedom as well. We actually see a lot of freedom going up to the Fool here. And, of course, we're going to clarify. We'll see what else wants to come up. But I kind of feel, in a way, that you're setting yourself free at work. Let's put it that way, right? And even if you're retired, you still do things every single day. So you're setting yourself free with what you do. See, you have the Magician with the Strength card. I feel that this is about your skills, like needing to realize how much you have developed. And, over time, hopefully, as humans, we grow and we learn new things. And the Strength card is a display of strength. She is putting her hands in this lion's mouth, and she is taming this lion, which requires strength. So it's like you have done things over time that require strength, and I feel that now it's time to put your strength on display. But this could be through like accomplishing a goal. The Ace of Swords can be like an achievement, a victory, and so it's like sometimes we have to go put the things we've learned into practice, have a victory, have an achievement, so that the world can see how strong we are. And I kind of feel that's really where this reading is going. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Love it. Two aces is a definite yes to any question. that I haven't answered. And two aces is just like a positive fresh start or a new start coming in for you. The Ace of Pentacles could also be a new opportunity. And again, with all this, sorry, I didn't want to switch, but with the Six of Swords, the Fool, this really tells me that you could be leaving something behind and, kind of having a fresh start at this time and accepting a big opportunity with that Ace of Pentacles. The Six of Swords, this woman and the child in the boat, they're leaving everything behind them behind. The Ace of Swords is about making a sacrifice sometimes, and it's like sometimes we have to cut something out so we can have something better, and, I kind of feel that's where this is going. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Hermit. Hermit is kind of similar to that message I was getting on the Strength card. He has climbed to the top of this mountain. He has done some soul searching, but he's kind of staying at the top of the mountain. I think, and again, this is just a personal thing. This is not accurate tarot, but I think that the next step for the Hermit is to come down from the mountain. He needs to show the world, his strength. He needs to show the world what he has learned. He has the star inside of this lantern here, and I always say, he needs to shine that star out all over the place. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this closure card and this relax card. So it's like you're getting some time for yourself. You're getting some time for yourself. I do feel a lot of you, I don't know that this is like closure from one thing. Intuitively, I feel that you are receiving closure from a bunch of different things, things that have not been closed out, things that have, been left lingering, let's put it that way. And that's like the type of closure you're receiving. I don't necessarily feel like this is closure from one person. I kind of feel that you're closing out a bunch of things, especially having the Ace of Swords here and especially having the Six of Swords as well. The Six of Swords, this woman and the child, they are bringing nothing with them but the clothing on their back across these choppy waters. So they are completely moving on from the past. They do have these Six Swords, and these Six Swords represent like the knowledge, the wisdom, the things that they've learned, the things that they've been through. They're really just bringing forward the information. They're not bringing forward the actual situation with them. And so, to have a fresh start, we have to leave everything behind. And you have the Fool, which is a fresh start right here. So I feel in a lot of ways that you are leaving things in the past. You do have the Seven of Swords, and again, if this retrograde, not this retrograde, but this eclipse that we're having on Tuesday, on the 17th, is kind of weird because a lot of people have been getting a lot of stuff about, that kind of reminds me of retrograde energy. And, eclipses can definitely bring back like karma or karmic situations. And with the Ace of Swords here, I would definitely be careful if you're dealing with a person who's like hoping for a fresh start or a person who's coming back from the past. You could be getting communication from the past. You could be hearing from a person from the past or whatever. And like I said, with the Seven of Swords, I would definitely, be careful of that because they could be telling you that they lied or that they cheated or whatever. And I would be careful of that. I think on a personal level, Seven of Swords is a card of the next decade, basically comes up in every single reading. We have to look for better ways of doing things. I really feel that one of the key words from the universe right now is efficiency. We have to look for the most efficient ways possible to do everything, and as long as we're being efficient, we'll be successful. If we're doing things that are really creating a lot of friction, I think we're going to have a hard time, and the Seven of Swords always reminds me of that. Like, is it worth it? You have the Justice card. Justice says, is it worth it? Are the things that you're doing worth it, or are they a waste of time? And this goes for literally every single activity that you do throughout the day. And Justice says pay attention to cause and effect. Pay attention to how you're doing things. Justice can also be karmic justice. And again, just putting this together right here, it's like if someone moved on from you or if you moved on from another person, there could be like an apology or there could be some sort of karmic justice coming in for you here. Yeah, with the Six of Swords, you have the Eight of Cups. I would not be surprised if you are kind of, if you have gathered a lot of information, like as in you've been doing something that you've learned a lot from the experience, but it's like now you're walking away from the experience. The Eight of Cups is the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it right here. So you are clearly, like everybody else, you are eclipsing something out of your life and you're moving forward. But it's like sometimes I think we have to do things so that we can learn. And I kind of wonder if you've been in a period of like stepping stone energy where it's like you've done a lot of things, like literally just experiences, and you've learned a lot from those things, and now you're taking that information and putting it into one big thing, right? Like maybe you've done a lot of projects and now you're channeling that energy into one project based off of everything that you've learned. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Knight of Pentacles. I would be careful of slow movers at this time. Again, just like a little bit of a tiny energy that I've noticed in the readings as well, that, for whatever reason, this half of the month, if you're dealing with like a new person or if you meet a new person, but if they're not really, if it's kind of like half-hearted and they're not really putting in the energy, it might just be a better time to not waste your time and to move on. Now, what I would say is, of course, we can communicate with a person, and if they're moving too slowly, say something. But again, I kind of feel this energy of needing to make sure you're not settling. If someone isn't willing to invest, they're not willing to invest. And I think it would be much better to kind of like move on and not waste your time. With the this is why, because there's probably a person who's willing to match your energy. You have the Knight of Cups, Knight in Shining Armor. Again, I kind of get the feeling that some of you could be even attracting multiple people. It might be more than two. I feel like some of them are half-hearted, and I feel that there could be like one person who is willing to give you their whole heart and put all their energy into something. Obviously, it's impossible. I think it's ridiculous when people say, relationships should be 100-100. I'm like, well, that's impossible. Nobody can give more, can give 100% in a relationship and then do other things in their life. That doesn't even make sense. So, there you go. But, for the most part, I feel this is a person who really at least, equally gives in a connection. So if you're dating or if you're meeting multiple people, again, I would be careful of the people who are half-heartedly giving in the connection, and I would pay more attention to a person, it kind of looks to me like there's one person who really gives in the connection. What I have found about half-hearted people who don't really give in connections is that you start investing in those people because you want them to like you. And when you give to a person, you automatically value them as being more valuable than they actually are. So it's like, I think that's why as humans, we end up in these connections with a half-hearted person because we give to them because we want to be given back to, especially as spiritual people, right? And it's like when you give to a person like that, you think they're more valuable when they actually aren't because they're not giving anything. So I think you need to be like honest with yourself here as well. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this group dynamics card. It says, this meerkat card, it says group dynamics, discussion, and effective leadership. You have this blue heron. It says diplomacy, peacemaking, and positive omen. The herons are also kind of like birds of self-reliance and relying on yourself. And you start with the Fool. The Fool is a card of self-reliance. The Fool is a card of being able to do things on your own and kind of like having learned from your journey and starting a new journey again. And so I kind of feel that you are taking the lead on your journey. Again, he has these tattered sleeves, and the tattered sleeves on him in the tarot say that, he's about to go through the whole entire major arcana, but the tattered sleeves say he has done it before. So even if you are about to have a fresh start, or you're starting over, or you're starting something new, this to me is saying like you have done it before, and you know what you need to know, right? You are prepared for the journey. So if you feel like you're not prepared, you actually are. I am almost 1,000,000% sure, I could be wrong, but I think in the Wild Unknown the Wild Unknown tarot, that the heron is the Fool, which is very interesting because, again, to me, they both represent like self-reliance and relying on yourself. But these cards, that card says group dynamics, but it also says effective leadership. So it's like you're going to have to take the lead. You're going to have to rely on yourself, and you're going to have to be a good leader as well. Like if you're working on any new projects, businesses, whatever, you're going to have to guide other people. You have the Four Cups. Four Cups is about having been disappointed in the past, and again, I feel going this way, you're probably, cleaning up energy from a past person. Going this way, you're wondering if a new person is going to disappoint you. So, that's how the two energies are kind of working together, that Four Cups. And I feel like the Four Cups is saying, as long as you take your time, and you don't overinvest, and as long as you make sure that this person is giving equally, then you will be fine. It's only if you get into a situation like this, like a half-hearted effort, which is how that's popping into my head. Like I kind of feel that you're going to have a choice between a half-hearted effort and maybe it seems valuable and a person who actually is valuable, and so you're going to have to be able to tell the difference. You have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands, again, is a card of leadership. It is a card of taking the lead. And so whatever you're working on, I feel that you are going to have to be the leader. You are going to have to be the one that takes control of the reins and really makes things happen. With the Fool, you have the Eight of Wands. Quick success. Again, if you start this new journey, you are going to be successful very quickly. So if you're starting anything new, or if you're having a fresh start, could be in any area of your life, this is quick success. I think I said something about I don't remember where, maybe on The Magician, about like your focus, or you needing to focus in one direction, or maybe I didn't. I could be making that up. And what I would say here is focusing in one direction is going to make you successful. With the Four of Cups, here you go. You have the Ace of Swords again. So Ace of Swords is a laser-like focus, being focused in on one thing. Or that's what I said. It's like you're taking everything you've learned and you're putting it into one thing. I think that's what I said on the Eight of Cups, actually. And that's kind of the feeling I get here, where it's like you're taking all those stepping stone adventures that you've been on in your life, where you've had to like invest in something energetically, you've learned from it, and now you're channeling it into like one big project, one big idea, which I think is great. With the Two of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is focusing only on the future. She has her back to the past. So I think being future focused, of course, is a good idea. The Queen of Swords also is very clear on her journey, and I do feel that you could be gaining a lot of clarity in your life, or you have gained clarity. You have the Snake Spirit says time to heal, and you have this is coming up in the area of the good stuff, and this Parrot Spirit says watch your words. So it's coming up in the good stuff, and so, but again, I would continue to speak positively about the things that you are believing. The snake can also represent breaking a trance, and you have that Queen of Swords. So I feel a lot of you are either breaking a trance or you're gaining clarity in your life, and of course, this is going to be a good thing. But I would make sure to speak positively about the future. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Five of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles is about resourcefulness and being resourceful. She's about gathering your resources. I kind of feel like you could be, I've been feeling this for you for the past like 2 readings, I think. The eclipse reading that I did, the bonus reading I did for September, I feel that you could be making more is what this is saying to me. I'm pretty sure that I said this to you in your bonus reading as well. I can't remember if that was the right one, but I get this feeling for you, Taurus, that it's like you could be making more, and I feel like you need to. And so, again, I would make sure that you're pricing yourself appropriately. Again, if you're not doing work that you should be doing, I would be doing that work, and all that other stuff. So again, I would make sure that you're making as much as you can. And of course, people tell me all the time that money is evil and all this other stuff, and it's like, well, we need it to survive, so you might as well make as much as you possibly can, right? You have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is about your fortunes turning in your favor. A lot of Wheel of Fortune energy in this set of readings as well, the mid-monthly readings. Can have to do with karma, and we have the eclipse, which definitely can have to do with karma. The Wheel of Fortune would be about fortunes turning in your favor. With the Wheel of Fortune, we want to be at the middle of the wheel. When we live at the middle of the wheel, we can see good things and bad things as they come towards us in our life. We can double down on the good stuff, and we can take care of the challenges right away. And that's the whole point of the Wheel of Fortune, is to take care of things as quickly as possible. You have the Five of Swords, and again, the Five of Swords and the good stuff is about taking a risk. I do feel that for some of you, this opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles could be some sort of risk. But we're not talking about like a crazy risk here. We're talking about, getting an opportunity to get a new job, or, getting an opportunity to change your business, or, whatever the case may be. But I think it's going to be a risk that you should definitely take. So let's see here. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands. Definitely, this could lead to marriage right here, going this way with that Knight of Cups. So again, I think the person that gives equally, or, the person that's actually trying, is the person that you should go for. I know that sounds obvious, but like I said, sometimes it's not, and we've all fallen for it. So, don't blame yourself. But what I would say here is I feel like there's something where it's like, you don't have to do extra, I feel like maybe you'll want to do extra, which is a totally different story. It's like, just doing it for no reason is because someone isn't giving is always the problem, right? But obviously, if you are with a person who's always giving or giving more, then doing extra, totally different story. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Judgment card. Waking up to your true purpose. Again, I think everything you've been doing, literally since go from the beginning of September back to age 0 of your life, like up into this point, September 1st of this year, is adding up to your true purpose. So again, a lot of you might have to leave projects behind. You're clearly having some sort of fresh start, but I feel like you're being led to your purpose. And again, I don't care how old, even if you're 95 years old, doesn't matter. You could still have a purpose. With the Five of Swords, you have the King of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you're going to take a risk on a person here. So like I said, if you're looking for love, this could be a risk that you're taking on a person for love. The King of Cups could also be a risk with your emotions, because, again, if you've been working on 100 projects in your life, or if you've tried to launch a business like 100 times, you're kind of taking a risk with your emotions, because if it doesn't work out, then, emotionally, it could be a risk. You have this riches card. There you go. Right there. So definitely abundance coming in for you, and you are meant to be wealthy, right? That does not have to be money. That could be any form of wealth, but I feel a lot of you could be attracting riches. You have this adaptability card. Yep, I said it at the beginning of the reading, that flexibility, adaptability, whatever you want to call it, is going to be your best friend. Again, the more like in Knight of Wands energy you can be in, I feel like the better. Knight of Wands is kind of like carefree in a good way. He doesn't care how he does something. He just does it in whatever way is most efficient. And I feel adopting that mindset will be helpful. Being adaptable. Yeah, you have Taurus, the resistance right here. So pushing through resistance. This comes up for anytime I use this deck. This is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And anytime I use this deck, you get that card. You have this protection card. Yeah, you are protected. I feel like any risks you're taking, the Six of Swords, the guy in the back of the boat is a guide. He is guiding those people across the choppy waters. So you are protected from risk. And finally, you have this romance card. Yes, another Taurus card, by the way. This is Venus in Taurus, this card. And so a lot of you definitely could be attracting a new romantic connection. And yeah, I feel it'll be really good for you. There's something different about it. Again, I feel like you feel differently about it as well. And so again, don't fall into, especially if you're dealing with two people, which I only feel some of you are, don't fall into the trap that we talked about. But again, if you're dealing with a person who's clearly giving equally, then different story. Really simple reading, really good as well. Fresh start. So love it. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.